Thank you, Russell. Yeah, we're really thrilled to have Courtney Barnett here. Thanks so much for coming by, Courtney.
Thanks for inviting me along.
So you're currently on tour with Phosphorescent.
Yeah, it's it's the first show tonight. We're just doing 3 shows with them, but pretty excited about it.
Yeah. And that brought you to Kentucky, and as I understand, you've never been to Kentucky before.
Never. I like it.
Courtney, yes, is opening for Phosphorescent tonight at Headliners, has a new double EP called A Sea of Split Peas, which is kind of a tongue twister. I have to be really careful the way I say that. Did you design it that way, Courtney, on purpose?
Yeah, that's why I made it the title, just especially for radio presenters.
The song we've been playing is Avant Gardner, which I do want to talk about that song a little bit. But this EP that you've released, the double EP, was compiled a while ago. Like these are previously recorded albums that you had done over the last couple of years, and put it together under one moniker, I guess.
Yeah, basically I released an EP in Australia, and then a year later did the second EP, and then had never left Australia and figured I never would, and then we kind of got a label in the UK and then America, and then we just kind of packaged it together and figured it was easier to show everyone everything at once, and yeah, it worked pretty well.
So it's all kind of like new again in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got this whole other new life, and now you're being introduced to American audiences. You say you'd never thought that you'd be leaving Australia. How did you start out, and when did things start to change?
I mean, I've been playing for so long. When I was 18, I kind of started playing solo shows and playing my own songs, and then joined some bands and toured around Australia a lot. But there's not too many places that you can play, really. I mean, there are, but you lose a lot of money. So yeah, and then leaving Australia is so expensive to travel anywhere, and it just never happened. So in the last year or so, we kind of met some people from overseas, and I went to New York for the first time, and then this year we've been touring everywhere. It's great.
What's been your impression so far, or maybe some of your favorite things that you've seen or done?
I quite like just talking to people after shows in every town. It kind of gives you a good paints a nice little picture of the town, because a lot of the time, we don't get to see too much stuff apart from the venue and whatever else, but
in the van.
Yeah. So it's kind of talking to people who love music and come to the show, and yeah, it gives you a good impression of the town and paints a nice picture. So that's always fun.
Did you have some preconceived notions of what the United States would be like, and maybe have seen things from a different point of view, or?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we kind of grew up with, movies and stuff. It seemed like a very far away place when I was a kid. Yeah, and there's like the loud American cliche, but I've met a lot of really lovely people here, like majority lovely people. So cliches can be pretty stupid sometimes.
Well, how about we have you do a song, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Again, our guest is Courtney Barnett, opening for Phosphorescent tonight at Headliners. Show starts at 8:00. What's the first song you're going to do?
Well, I thought I'd do Avant Gardner.
Excellent.
Is that cool?
Yeah, we'd love it.
Another day, oh what a wonder, oh what a waste. It's a Monday, it's so mundane. What exciting things will happen today? The yard is full of hard rubbish, it's a mess, and I guess the neighbors must think we run a meth lab. We should amend that. I pull the sheets back, it's 40 degrees and I feel like I'm dying. Love's getting hard in here, so I do some gardening. Anything to take my mind away from where it's supposed to be. The nice lady next door talks of green beds and all the nice things that she wants to plant in them. I want to grow tomatoes on the front steps, sunflowers, bean sprouts, sweet corn and radishes. I feel proactive, I pull out weeds. All of a sudden I'm having trouble breathing in. 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 Are shaky, my knees are weak. I can't seem to stand on my own 2 feet. I'm breathing but I'm wheezing, feel like I'm emphyseming. My throat feels like a funnel filled with weed picks and kerosene. And oh no, next thing I know they call up triple O. I'd rather die than owe the hospital till I get old. I get adrenaline straight to the heart. I feel like Uma Thurman post-overdose and kickstart. Reminds me of the time when I was really sick and I had too much pseudoephedrine and I couldn't sleep at night. Halfway down High Street, Andy looks ambivalent. He's probably wondering what I'm doing, getting in an ambulance. The paramedic thinks I'm clever cause I play guitar. I think she's clever cause she stops people dying. Anaphylactic and super hypochondriac. Should've stayed in bed today, I much prefer the mundane. I take a hit from an asthma puffer. I do it wrong, I was never good at smoking bongs. I'm not that good at breathing in. I'm not that good at breathing in. I'm not that good at breathing in.
Courtney Barnett live on WFPK Radio Louisville. That's her song Avant Gardner that appears on the double EP, A Sea of Split Peas. And she's playing tonight with Phosphorescent at Headliners. Show starts at 8. Avant Gardner, that song's gotten a lot of attention. It's a great little tune.
Thanks.
Is it a true story?
Yeah, true story.
So you had an asthma attack? Or?
Yeah, I think it was like a anxiety slash allergy attack. /asthma attack / I don't know. I never quite figured it out, but yeah, I went to hospital and blah blah blah. It was very dramatic.
Yeah, but you felt like putting that in a song.
Yeah,
so.
It's funny. Yeah, it is. It still makes me laugh every day that it was the one song that got so much attention out of all of them, because it seemed like such a silly song when I wrote it. Not silly, just it's very long and it's got a lot of words and it doesn't really have a chorus and it doesn't really seem like a single.
But it's a, I guess because it's just such an odd subject for a song. I've never heard anybody write about like an asthma attack.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
I'm sure they have. But yeah, I'm not sure of any.
Right.
Off the top of my head.
Me either. I can't think of anything. So since this album has been out for a little while, and actually they it's a double EP, but the other EPs were already produced and now put together. I'm assuming you probably have another album in the works, maybe new songs.
Yeah. We actually recorded an album just before we left home in April, and hopefully it might be out at the end of the year. But yeah, it's funny, kind of playing all these songs. We're kind of ready to move on to the new songs, but then forget that half the world hasn't even heard these old songs. So it's fun. We've been slipping some of the new songs into our sets anyway. But yeah, I'm ready to move on to the next album already.
I can understand that. Yeah. So will you be working with the same set of musicians that you've been working with on this new one? Is it?
Yeah. The first two EPs was kind of very. It kind of started off as a bedroom project, and I was recording stuff, and I just, if I needed a guitar solo, I'd ask a friend to pop in and play something weird, and if it needed keyboard, I'd kind of ask a friend to come around. So I think about 20 people played on those 12 songs. And this new album, it was the four of us. So it's very, it's a lot more kind of, organised. And it's kind of got a one sound, which jumps around a bit, but it's kind of nice having that consistency.
What do you mean jumps around a bit?
Well, like the musicians that the guys that I played with, they're such great musicians. So it doesn't, and we kind of pushed ourselves to take the song. I kind of wrote the majority of the songs, and then when we took them to the studio, we pulled them apart and said, instead of playing, what you normally do, instead of playing the first drum beat that comes to mind, play something really weird and don't like. It was kind of everyone pushed themselves to try something different and to kind of step outside their little box of normal tricks that you pull out and that you're comfortable with playing, and because it's kind of I mean, we've been in the studio a few times, but on the last EP, it was whenever we had money to go to the studio, we'd spend a day in the studio, and then go back to work and go back to touring, and then when we had enough money, we'd go in there and record another 3 songs or something. So this time it was kind of nice to be in the studio and kind of have a bit of time to experiment a tiny bit.
Well, did you have a producer for this, or did you self-produce?
My friend Dan Luscombe, who played guitar, I asked him to produce it. He did a great job. So it was him and Burke Reed. They worked together in another band.
So now you're with Mom and Pop Records,
Yeah.
or a division of Mom and Pop, right? So they'll be releasing, I'm assuming, the next one, which is exciting. That's great. Yeah. Well, cool. So Courtney Barnett's our guest, again, opening for Phosphorescent tonight at Headliners. Show starts at 8 o'clock, and we've got time for another one. Courtney, what's the next song you're going to do?
Cool. I'm going to do Scotty Says, which is it's off the first EP, so the slightly older one. But yeah.
Okay.
This is it.
All right.
In my wallet is a photo of you. The day we split, I ripped it in two. Stuck it back together with glue. Tear my posters down from the wall. Don't wanna worship no dead heroes. Everything I owned, I sold. I got pocket is a bottle of blue. Drink it when I'm feeling misconstrued. Don't like the taste, but I like the overview. I made a lot of money in my days. Spent it all on the current craze. I don't see no need to say. I got lost somewhere between here and there. I'm not sure what the town was called.
Name of that song's called Scotty
Says.
Scotty Says, and that's Courtney Barnett live on WFPK Radio Louisville. Her new album's called the Double EP, A Sea of Split Peas. We can look forward to a new album at the end of the year, possibly. And she's opening tonight for Phosphorescent at Headliners at 8. Courtney, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your travels
Thanks.
here in the States.
Thanks for having me in. It's fun.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you. Back to you, Russell.